You're watching Bike Check, and I'm here with Blake Hicks down at the Watershed, and we are seeing some amazing stunts tonight. Do you have anything new for us?
What I have new for you is like a scuffless dump truck. It's my signature kind of move that I like doing a lot, the one I'm best at, which is a dump truck without touching the tire. And I have no brakes, so I can't even use brakes. But it feels good when you're just floating there and you hear no sound. It's an unreal feeling. It's all supreme balance.
And how does it get that name, dump truck?
When you see the move, you'll kind of be like, oh, that makes sense. I literally pull the bike up and I grab onto one side of it and I dump the bike behind me. It's completely behind me. I'm in front of it and I'm going in circles. And so hence the move dump truck. Okay, Scuffless dump truck. I'm going to be doing it right here. I got to build some speed for it. This is a trick where you don't pedal and all you use is your body movement. So up, I grab the bike and I dump it behind me. Scuffless, not even touching the tire. And then to get out of it, it's called a stubble dump. You throw the bike behind you.
Nice.
Try not to break your ankle. Goal number one, kids. Learn how to fall.
And this is kind of new, right?
No, it was pretty big in the 80s. And then they had a flat spot come around the 90s or so where Flatland kind of went out for a little bit, but it took off in the rest of the world, especially in the UK and Japan. It just blew up. And then now recently with like the new technology and the lightweight of the bikes and just the style and the moves people are creating, it's just completely blowing back up. It's amazing.
So were you inspired by movies like Rad at all? Or?
Rad is my Bible. Rad is the Bible of everybody that does Flatland or wants to do Flatland or sees it. That's where your first probably show of it is you're like, wow. And that's what inspired me. I grew up in St. Louis, Missouri, and most people that were in Rad were in the Midwest at the time. And Josh Hicks, my brother, was the one that actually opened my eyes to it. And then everybody else from Dennis McCoy, DMC, and then Rick Thorne and other little guys from like the 80s that just blew up and were insane and invented the sport. That's where all my inspiration came from.
Now, have you seen this Kung Fu movie from China with BMX bikes from a little bit later period, but about then?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, we've got some video to show you then.
Deal.
Yeah. Okay. Right on. So it's neat that you're doing Flatland, which just requires, I mean, basically a flat surface, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I look around at parking lots and dream about them. It is the little funny thing when you're driving. Most people that ride street on bikes or skateboards, they look at ledges, they look at handrails, they're like, that's a really cool spot. Where normal people aren't gonna be that. But I see a parking lot and I'm just like, okay, that's tomorrow.
That makes life a little easier then.
Oh, it's so much easier.
Now, you'd mentioned though that, you know, you wanted to be able to bike in skate parks and do that when you were younger, but you had, you know, issues with with either the police or skaters or whatever. Tell us a little bit about that.
So nowadays, Portland in the last couple of years has erected anywhere from 10 to 15 bike and skate parks. And a lot of them now, because they were pushed so much by the minority of skaters, have made them skateboard only, which the parks are by far huge enough to both like accompany bikes and skateboards. Kind of what pushed me into Flatland, which is a blessing, was the ability that when I go to skate parks, I get hassled around. I get pushed around, and then like you're not allowed there. So
hold on, Arthur, sweetie, I got to do this interview right now. Can you talk to your brothers or actually?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm busy right now. You will never master not getting busy. No matter what I ever say.
So my kids are lucky enough to be able to be down here. They love to ride their bikes.
Oh yeah.
They learned. You know, Arthur's learned at 3 years old, and yeah.
I wish I would have started that young.
and Aiden doing repairs on his own bikes already.
That's smart, man. You have to.
Lucas shredding on his mountain bike, and they're all trying to learn how to do wheelies right now, and are very inspired by what you do.
Oh, mad respect.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really neat, and it's a great example. And it's too bad that kids can't get out and utilize these parks that we all pay for as taxpayers, because there's you have either police or skaters keeping the BMX riders out. So again, tell us a little bit more, you know, about that.
It's just that was a great outlet, and there were some skate parks where you could go to, and that's where it'd be overcrowded, overpopulated, because that's where the only ones that bikes could be allowed at. And then you would have a lot of people running into each other because they wouldn't look for lines necessarily; they just go out there, and a lot of accidents happen. And it's super unfortunate when you go to like an amazing skate park and you're not allowed to ride. And it's not because there's no cops around; it's because the skaters are like, "Oh yeah, look at the sign," when clearly like the sign says you have to have helmets, you have to have all these other laws, and they don't. But it's just their little thing that they want to police and enforce. But the thing about that is like, the skate park keeps you out of all the other bad elements. Like I grew up in the ghetto, and having a parking lot for me was amazing because it got me like out of every other thing that I would have been possibly involved in. And so like and having the ability to ride in every park would be amazing. It just brings up all kinds of different things. And I mean, skateboarders and bikers get along. They get along really well, and there's just a little minority that wants to enforce that law. And because the law is out on their side, they get the right of way for it.
Well, we're trying to do that here in, I know this is an issue all over the place, and we are dealing with this here particular in Gresham, Oregon, this weekend. And rumor has it that you're going to be able to make it out to Gresham on Sunday. Unless it snows too much, is that going to be a possibility?
No, Gresham, I most definitely want to be there. I want to see everybody. I want to be able to show everybody what we got going on. And then most people there I will most likely know. And I mean, like, if you can put a good trick and a pro into a spot like I would say more aged, I mean, regardless of age, but like authority is going to respect that. They'll be like, wow, he's invested a lot of time and he's in his late 20s or early 30s, like he knows what he's doing. And I mean, like, this is the life I've been able to choose and move forward with, and it's amazing, and everybody should have that opportunity. And I mean, I didn't even start riding until I was 18 years old. I started way late in the game, and all these kids these days now have the accessibility at 3 years old, 10 years old to do this, and if they're just going to push the boundaries for the future.
So it is. It's truly inspiring what you do out there. But in a way, you could say, well, you do Flatland, so who cares about the skate bowl?
I was a street kid before I did Flatland. Like, I was grinding handrails, I was grinding ledges, getting kicked off of all those when people would approach me, and then I spent a lot of time in the skate parks. Like, I grew up in St. Louis, I grew up in the Midwest, and there is a difference, but there's a lot more openness. You could definitely get there and go away with it. But since I moved to Portland, which has been the last 6 years, I've ridden in 2 skate parks here, and I don't have the ability to ride the others because people complain about the pegs being too hard and it's going to mess up the concrete, or you're not allowed to ride in the skate park, or they just some other rule. Like, most skate parks now, if they do allow bikes, allow no pegs. And that's kind of a big deal because, I mean, most bikers are going to grind on that. You know, they're going to slide on that. So now it's like you're taking away parts of the functionality of a bike to be able to do the tricks that you want to do.
Well, it's unfortunate to see that. And of course, you know, on Crank My Chain and Bike Check, we really are into bikes, and we want to see people push the envelope. It's Portland, Oregon, for crying out loud. You know, you think that there would be, we don't even have BMX racing in this town, which is just hard to believe.
Wasn't this, was it? Circus tricks.
Did you see that, man? It's really easy.
You learned it. You just got to push down with your foot. It kicks you up. Really, really nice and high.
Did you see that, man?
Nice. No, I did, but the camera did. I think I was on you there.
I'm kidding. See, when you get really good, you just don't even have to pedal anymore. You just learn how to pump everything. Oh, you okay?
All right. Well, Blake Hicks, thank you very much for coming on Bike Check.
Oh, thank
you.
you.
And we will see you, well, we'll see you real soon as we film you.
Oh, most definitely. Here we go.
All right. Oh, and hey, you know, another thing real quick we wanted to talk about. You did a video Tron bike that is blowing up on YouTube.
Yeah.
If you have not seen Blake Hicks Tron bike, go watch it. We've shown it on the show before. We'll probably show it tonight. But now I hear there is a Tron Bike 2 in the works.
Yeah, we're starting Tron Bike 2, which is going to be filmed by 2 of my best friends, Anthony Belligio and Justin Huey. And they're the ones that filmed Tron Bike 1, and it blew up. It just got over 700,000 views. And it's biggest in Brazil, which is kind of crazy. But the thing has now gotten me all my gigs for this upcoming year, and now I've done all these massive outdoor festivals with it, and people just... It's amazing. They can't wrap their mind on how it works. The whole bike lights up, which you guys are going to see. But we're doing Tron 2.0, and we're going to blow the first one out of the water. Super excited about it.